Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of College and Career Pathways, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. we provide you with information on various colleges and universities, financial aid resources, skilled trade professions, technical schools and training programs, and career readiness skills, all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm Toni Cureton, your host, and today, um, Teresa, you're going to have to help me with your name. You guys have such a long name for your organization.
So it is ours now is LIUNA Training of Michigan. We kind of shortened it, and LIUNA stands for Labor's International Union of North America. So that part is a mouthful.
Good deal. We are so glad to have you back. It is wonderful to be in partnership with your organization because, as we were just speaking, there's so many opportunities in the skilled trade, and the skilled trade is so under popular, put out there in just general information and knowledge, as well as, the mainstream of areas that you would go to when you're seeking career ideas and employment. And so I'm so happy to feature you guys.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it.
Good deal. You can go ahead and get started in your presentation.
All right. All right, so like we had said, I am with the Laborers Union, or LIUNA. Sometimes people see the logo there and they don't know what it is. So it stands for the Laborers International Union of North America. So we're the labor union. Me personally, I'm an instructor at our training facility. I work mostly out of Perry. We do have 4 training facilities throughout the state of Michigan. So we have one in Wayne, one in Perry, one in Benton Harbor, St. Joe, which is way over here. And then we have one up in Iron Mountain, which is way in the UP. First thing I'm going to do is I have a video here, and the video there's some people that give some description of their career process, how they got started in the trades. And it also shows some of our courses and people working in the field, so you can get a better idea of what exactly a laborer might do. And let me know if you can't hear it.
The demand for construction craft laborers is projected to increase 24%. Thousands of new union construction jobs offering good pay, health care, and retirement plans are on the horizon.
I am 26 years old, just turned 26, and we own a house, I own a boat, I own 2 vehicles. One's completely paid off, the other one's just about paid off. I go on vacations. I own 2 horses, 2 dogs. I don't struggle anymore. I used to struggle and now I don't.
Michigan is coming back, rebuilding to shape the future. It takes people that can make things happen. Men and women working with their hands and their heads to get the job done. Hard-working Michiganders, like the members of the Laborers International Union of North America, LIUNA.
In high school, I tell you to go to school, get a degree. Well, I could have graduated high school and probably I could sign up for laborers the next day and started coming to the training center and started making money instead of spending money, trying to make money. I got in the apprenticeship, I was a little older, some kids that are fresh out of high school coming, which I wish I would have had that knowledge that this was available, that would have probably sped things up. Instead of 2 years in the laborers, I'd have 10 by now, and I'd be closer to retiring. It's not intimidating once you get into class. The teachers are guys from the field. that have been there. They know what they're talking about. They were laborers before they were instructors. You show some initiative and you're willing to learn. I think a lot of guys see that and are willing to help you along. You get your journeyman card and you learn the trade. You're an asset. You can go anywhere you want. I think if you put the time in and you're willing to learn, it's not hard to get into. And just being in the field, I see there's not a lot of young people joining. So I think if you have some initiative, you can kind of punch your own ticket and really go somewhere.
The Michigan Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Institute exists to help laborers stay up to date on the latest construction craft technologies and offers apprenticeship training for people looking for a good career. Skilled trade workers are needed to meet the demands of an ever-changing industry. Along with our signatory contractors, we've created this training center to be a gateway to a challenging and rewarding career in the construction industry. Skilled trade workers work on jobs as diverse as pipe laying, curb, gutters and sidewalks, sewer and water main, roads, bridges, utilities, and mason tending. The diversity of needed skills demands a commitment to training and education. That is why Michigan laborers and our signatory contractors have invested in a state-of-the-art training center for our members to learn new skills and enhance existing skills. The complex includes a large membership meeting room, classrooms, a cafeteria, and shops outfitted with the latest tools and material handling equipment. Those who attend not only learn how to use their hands to do quality work, they are also taught advanced math and science that's needed on modern construction sites. The training these workers receive includes practical and theoretical knowledge, as well as the safety training to be productive and valued employees.
The construction industry hasn't had very many women because I think a lot of people still believe that it's just a man's world, and that's definitely not the case. They say when you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And so I never woke up thinking I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to be there.
They're given opportunities to experience the different roles of everyone they'll encounter on site, from supervisors to inspectors to contractors. The result is an education that allows construction workers to learn new skills, advance in their careers, and gain a competitive advantage in an ever-changing economy. Among the keys to the effectiveness of the training center, the specialized facilities, allowing for job-specific training year-round. For example, the sand floor in the work bay and ventilation systems in the ceiling and walls allows excavation for sewer and water main systems up to 5 feet deep. At 60 by 80 feet, it's large enough to duplicate construction activity in an environment more conducive to learning than the Michigan weather outside. With a complete array of concrete forming systems and material handling equipment available, construction craft laborers are able to master skills of form setting, reinforcing, layout, and placement of concrete in an environment that enables them to learn during the training.
Me personally, I like working on cars, but I don't want to do it for a living. I was going to automotive school and I was paying about $40,000 a year just to go to automotive school for 3 years. I'm a hands-on learner. So I figured construction would be a good trade for me. So I came here, started learning, and I enjoy it. They pay me to go to school here, which is nice. I didn't know nothing about construction. So I came here and they taught me everything. I want to earn enough money so I can go hunting or fishing whenever I want. It was probably the best decision I could have made.
Build a challenging, rewarding career in the construction industry. It's an industry where you can create your own opportunity. The Michigan Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Institute exists to turn those opportunities into reality.
You get that first paycheck and you're just like, wow, this is great. And then you look over your benefits and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't need to borrow money anymore. And I can start saving for a vehicle, a house.
Yes, Michigan is rebuilding, and the members of LiUNA locals across the state are trained and equipped to make their mark on it. The Michigan Laborers Training and Apprenticeship Institute, training Michigan's skilled workforce.
All right, so it did have in the video decent information as far as what type of work we do. But this slide here is a good graphic of all the type of work that you might do as a laborer. So we are one of the more diverse trades. So if you're an operator, you operate heavy equipment. And if you're a pipe fitter, you work on pipe. If you're a laborer, you can do a wide array of things, and you can kind of try each one of them until you find something that you personally like. So a few examples that we have on here is road work. So you're driving down the roads, passing all those cones and those people working behind the barrels. Those people, a good amount of them are laborers. So the type of work they could be doing, they could be putting in utilities. So water mains or storm sewer or sanitary sewer, or they could be building sidewalks and driveways. They could be putting in curb. They could be putting asphalt on the road. So they could be doing a wide variety of stuff, just even within one section that's named on here. There's also general construction. So a lot of the stuff you saw in the video of the guy that was power washing, or they were pouring concrete, or they were grading for building, that type of stuff falls under general construction. Concrete, we saw some examples of that in there as well. They were forming walls and pouring some walls. They were doing sidewalks. They were doing stamped and decorative concrete. So you could do a wide variety of things. There's also demolition. If you like breaking things, you could be breaking down buildings, or breaking bridges up, or running a jackhammer. And there's also an environmental side. So we have asbestos and hazardous material abatement. So you could be in the full suit with all the safety gear, removing asbestos from buildings, or lead, or mold, or any other hazardous material. So there's a wide range of things you could be doing as a laborer, and that was just to touch on a couple. So to start as a laborer, you need to be at least 18 years old. The way around this is you can be 17 as long as you have a high school diploma or GED. But outside of that, you do need to be 18 years old, have to be physically capable to do the work, must have reliable transportation. So a lot of your job sites you have to travel to. Sometimes you aren't going to the same location every day. So you have to have a method to get to and from work every day. Good attitude and willing to learn. That's with any job. You need to have a positive attitude, positive outlook, and be willing to learn something new. There's a lot of stuff to learn out there, especially on these construction sites. And the second you think you know it all, you're going to learn some more. So it's important to keep an open mind and be willing to learn anything someone's willing to teach you. You got to be on time. And a lot of companies require that you pass a drug test. So you may not get one through your local itself, but in order to get hired in through a contractor, they may ask you to pass a drug test. So if you were interested, how would you become a laborer? So there's a few different methods you can use. So you can go through a local labor union. So we have 7 different locals for the laborers in the state of Michigan, and they're in different locations. So there's like one in Detroit, one in Saginaw, one in Flint, one on the west side of the state, and one in the UP. So, and then one in the Lansing, Ann Arbor area. So you could look up whatever local is in your local area, And you can go directly to them. Some of them have applications right on their website that you can apply to. Or you could maybe even just drop into one of them and talk to someone there. Another method you can use is find a signatory contractor. So what that means is this is a construction company that employs laborers through the union at them. So there are plenty of them throughout the state of Michigan. So you could, if you see a job posting online for like Dan's Excavating or Ajax, any construction company, you can look up and see if they are a union company, and you could apply and get a laborer's position there. And then you'll automatically get signed up as a laborer and start the apprenticeship program. A third way that some people get into the laborers is if they had military experience. So if they're a veteran, they have programs that allow them to come into the union directly from their military service. So once you are in, you start what's called an apprenticeship program. And with your apprenticeship program is work hours. So that's when you're physically out on the job, working on those construction sites. And then there's training hours. So that would be when you come to one of those 4 facilities I mentioned to take classes. And we'll talk about what classes we offer in a little bit here. So how you work your way through the program is a combination of those work hours and training hours. And with these stages come a bigger pay raise. So it depends on what type of work you're doing and what area you're working in. But you start anywhere from $18 to $20 an hour. And from there, and that's as an apprentice. And from there, as you work through these stages, your pay will increase until you have reached 300 training hours and 4,000 work hours. And that's when you have reached full journeyman scale. And again, it depends on which area you're working and what type of work you're doing, but it could be around $30 an hour. And that's not counting any of your healthcare benefits, anything like that. That is just your flat rate. So the training hours, you would come to one of our facilities and take hours worth of the classes that we offer. So this here is our course offerings. So we have a wide variety of classes that we offer. Some that are, you see on here, are listed as core curriculum. So these are ones that we find beneficial to a laborer no matter what trade or type of work they're doing. So construction math, blueprint reading, OSHA, so your safety courses, first aid, CPR, you have a job readiness life skill class, and then you'll see there's a bunch of other ones listed in there. You are able to pick and choose which courses you want to take based on your own preferences or maybe the scope of work that you're working on. So maybe you're working in an excavation company and you're working on installing utilities. So maybe you want to take a pipeline class or utility locating because that's the type of work you're doing every day. So you can pick those and you would take those on your time off. So generally, students come to the training center if they get laid off in the winter, and that's when they'll start taking all of their courses. Also with our classes, they are a combination of more book knowledge work and hands-on training. So some of you might be thinking, ew, math, I'm not interested in math. Well, how we teach it is we'll teach a concept, like maybe you've heard the Pythagorean theorem before. So we'll teach it, and then we'll show you how you would use that out on the job site. And we'll walk through the hands-on portion of that. So if we're forming concrete and we want to make sure we have a perfect square, we would use that information we'd use the Pythagorean theorem to make sure we make a perfect square. So it's not just a bunch of math concepts that you're promised you're going to use out there It's more of this is a class, this is the method of how you calculate something, and then, hey, we're gonna go out and we're gonna use it how you would out on that job site. So what's the cost? So the cost for our members to come to our training center and take training is free. In fact, we pay all of our students to come to class. They are paid based on their mileage, so it's a stipend, so it's designed to cover your gas and food and expenses like that. So the lowest you get is $45 a day, and the highest you would get was $90 a day. And that depends on how far you're traveling from your home to whichever training facility you are attending. In addition to that, since it is a stipend, so when most people are taking their classes, they're laid off, they're on unemployment, they're getting $360 every 2 weeks. They do not need to claim this since it's a stipend. So if they get $200 in training and they get that $360 every week, they could be making $560 without actually stepping on the job site. So it's a good way to combine your unemployment with some classes where you could be making a livable wage while you're still on unemployment, and you get to learn new skills in the process. Something that if you're young enough, you're not really thinking about, but when can I retire? So with the laborers, we are the only skilled trade that still has 30 years and out. So what that means is if you started when you're 18, in 30 years, when you're 48, you can retire with a full pension. So what a pension is it's a guaranteed dollar amount that you get sent a check every month. So every month, based on how many hours you worked in those 30 years is the amount you'll get. So you'd get a check every single month for a dollar amount as your pension. A different way, and this is more designed for people who get in when they're a little older, it's your age plus your years that you've been in the union has to equal 85. So say someone gets in when they're 20 and they're 65 years old, those things added together would be 85 and they would be out. So they wouldn't have to work the full 30. So it's kind of designed for someone who's a little older that enters, but if you get in when you're young, you'll probably more likely use the 30 and out. And that is all I have.
You guys, do you have any questions? Please feel free to unmute and ask your question, or if you like, you can type it in the chat and I'll be more than happy to read it. Teresa, I do have a question. So according to your chart, it looks like it is a 5-year program or
So
4-year program.
it depends. People normally work through it about 2 or 3 years. So those pay raises aren't based on time. They're based on your training hours and your working hours combined. So
Okay.
if you are, persistent about coming into the training center when you're laid off or when you have free time, whatever it may be, and you're taking classes, you can work through it faster than someone, say, that doesn't, or they want to take their free time and they're not taking classes, and it might take someone like that a little bit longer.
Okay. And then you also mentioned that you have to be 18 years old, and the only other way you can get around that is if you're 17 and have earned your high school diploma or your GED.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now, if you're 18 or older, are you still required to have your high school diploma or GED, or is that optional?
They say you're supposed to, but I definitely know a lot of people that do not.
Okay, good deal. Good
I think
deal.
it's preferred, but I don't think it is. You're
Okay.
kicked out the door if you don't have it.
All righty then. Yay, good deal. You guys, any questions from you?
No, but I just wanted to thank you so much.
Good deal. All right, then, if there aren't any questions or comments, then we will bring this session to a close. Thank you so much, Teresa, for coming. We always love to have you guys present your programs to our students, and thank you guys for joining, and everybody have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, good deal.